In this video, we are looking at Asia's lowest ranked nation, located all the way down here in 206th position. Sri Lanka is Asia's lowest ranked footballing country, but we are going to try and change that today. I am giving Sri Lanka four perfect players to make up the spine of their team, all with 200 current ability and their attributes frozen, so they will maintain that 200 current ability throughout their careers. And at 16 years old, we're going to have over a decade where four perfect players will be playing in the Sri Lankan national team. And we're going to see if these four perfect players can rebuild Sri Lanka to be one of the top footballing nations in the world. Now, to my knowledge, Sri Lanka have never made a World Cup, have never won an Asian Nations Cup, and their only trophy is a South Asian Football Federation Championship that was won way back in 1995. So we're going to see, can these four perfect players bring new success to a country that desperately needs it? And of course, we will follow the careers of our four perfect players to see where they end up. They are currently free agents, but I'm sure it won't take them that long to be at the top of the footballing world. So, we are 16 years old. Let's move forward 5 years to when each of our players is going to be 21 and should have pretty well established themselves, both in the national team, but also in where they are at in club football. So let's skip forward to 2028, and I will see you all then. Welcome back. We are in July of 2028, 5 years into the future. Our perfect players looking as perfect as ever. Where are they at? No surprise, they are at the top teams in the world. Some crazy transfer values here. Perfect defender at City, perfect goalkeeper at Real Madrid, perfect striker at Arsenal, and perfect midfielder at PSG. Starting off with the perfect midfielder, he's had a very good career. He went and started at Dortmund, but was signed for free by PSG a year later, where he has been incredibly successful, absolutely insane average ratings. Let's see what he's won. Let's actually go to his biography for that to see what he's won. So starting off, he's already made 27 appearances and scored 40 goals for his country. He's averaging like almost 2 goals per game. We are going to see how he's doing for Sri Lanka in a little bit. But looking at how he has done for PSG, lifted the French Cup 3 times. He's won the Champions League, and he's won Ligue 1 5 times in a row. He's also won the Next Gen Award, been the most promising player, World Under 21 Player of the Year, Champions League Player of the Season. So our perfect midfielder has been absolutely insane. Now moving on to our perfect striker, he's a bit of an interesting career path. He already has over 100 league goals and again an insane average rating. He started off at Bologna, moved to Arsenal for 78 million, and has been on an absolute tear since. Looking at his winners' medals, he's brought Arsenal an English Premier Division. So that in and of itself is absolutely phenomenal. But let's see what he's won. Serie A top goal scorer, Serie A Player of the Year, European Golden Boy, but it doesn't look like he has a EPL top scorer award. So that's something we'll want to look out in the future. The perfect goalkeeper at Real Madrid has absolutely had absolutely crazy ratings, especially for a goalkeeper that's so high. But it looks like he went to Lens and then Nice. And at Nice, he's been very good. And at Real Madrid, he has absolutely maintained that trajectory. I can see there he's won a Spanish First Division. Let's go to his biography. He lifted the French Cup with Nice, and he's lifted the Spanish Cup and the Spanish La Liga as well, 2 times in a row. Next Gen runner-up, League One Uber Eats goaler of the season, World Goalkeeper, World Golden Glove, but no Champions League trophy, so it'll be interesting to see whether he's able to win that now with Madrid at some point. And finally, our perfect defender at Man City has been similarly impressive. Looks like he started off at Ligue 1 as well, moved to Monaco, was amazing there before his move to Man City. Looking at his biography, he hasn't won really anything. A French Cup, Next Gen runner-up, European Golden Boy, Champions League Player of the Season. But our perfect defender may be lagging a little bit behind everyone else. So that's how they're doing individually, but I think the bigger question is how are they doing for Sri Lanka? And they have shot up the world rankings 116th. They've moved up on nearly 100 positions. They are doing fantastically well. And comparing our 200 current ability players to the rest of the Sri Lankan players, this is a real guy. He's not nearly as good. I mean, he's not even 100 current ability. This is like maybe a League Two or Vanarama National League quality player. I mean, this is the team that they are improving. So they've done a fantastic job there. Let's look at their schedule and see how they have done. So looking at the last 5 years or so, it looks like we're in World Cup qualifiers right now. So hopefully we'll see Sri Lanka in the next World Cup. So looking at, oh, they lost. They actually made it to the semifinals of the South Asian Football Federation Championship. But that is significantly better than they were doing before. Oh, wow. They made the Asian Cup and made the second round. So they got out of their group phenomenally well, actually. The perfect midfielder scoring a hat trick there, perfect striker getting on the board, and only lost to South Korea in extra time. They're actually doing really well. Well done to Sri Lanka. So the perfect players have made a huge improvement. They made a final, but they lost to India 4-0. Oh, they've actually done so well. So a huge improvement for Sri Lanka here, and they have done really well. Looking at those improvements in world rankings, again, we were 206th. Looks like we actually dropped to 207th, but it's been a rapid rise since then, a huge rise here. And we are all the way up to 116th. So we are going to see if Sri Lanka can continue that upward trajectory with our perfect players or whether they've just kind of settled at this point now. So that is 5 years into the future. I say we go another 5 years forward. We probably have about 10 more years of them actually here. So let's move forward to 2033 and see how Sri Lanka is doing then. Welcome back. We are in 2033. Our perfect players are still at the same clubs. We'll do a quick checkup on them and then move to see how we're doing at Sri Lanka. Looks like the perfect goalkeeper has still been great. He won the Club World Championship at Real Madrid, but still no Champions League for him. Our perfect defender at Man City has now added much to his trophy cabinet. Three UEFA Champions League victories between 2030 and 2032. UEFA Super Cup as well as some English Premier Division titles. Our perfect defender is doing very well. I think it's awesome that our perfect midfielder was the World Footballer of the Year and World Player of the Year and European Men's Player of the Year, runner-up. But I think it's really cool that we have a Sri Lankan World Footballer of the Year. But he has won the Champions League at PSG, which I think we saw last time, but it doesn't seem like we've added a whole lot more as far as other trophies, mostly just League One championships, French Cup championships, and Trophies de Champions as well. And finally, our perfect striker has added 2 more EPL titles to his name. He has also been the World Football of the Year, World Player of the Year, and the European Men's Player of the Year on 2 occasions. So he is racking up those individual awards. If we look at his career stats, I think we can see why with some outrageous goal scoring totals there. Over 200 league goals, he's doing so well. But the real question is, how is Sri Lanka doing? And we are 52nd in world rankings. Oh man, we've improved a whole lot. We've gone like 150 places up. So if we are, what did you say, 52nd? I mean, Sri Lanka's as good as Ecuador, Romania, Wales, Iran, almost as good as South Korea. What a huge improvement. So let's look at their schedule and see. We last saw them in 2028, so we'll go back to then. What has happened since then? Looks like we're in the World Cup qualifiers. I don't know when the World Cup would have been. Not in 2030, maybe 2030. Oh, they made an Asian Cup final. Oh, they were so close to winning an Asian Cup. That would have been nuts. Wow, they lost to Australia, but they won the semis. And actually, some other Neeraj Pereira, who doesn't even look that amazing. He's a left back. He scored 2 goals to help get them there. And our perfect players are doing a lot, but certainly some other contributions from Sri Lankan players. So that's really cool to see. But I did notice they won the South Asian Football Federation Championship. So that is fantastic to see. So that is one in the trophy cabinet for Sri Lanka. Looking forward. They made the World Cup. This is what we wanted. Sri Lanka made the World Cup, Asia's lowest ranked nation, helping to get there. They did lose every game in the World Cup, but it doesn't matter. They made the dance, and that's all we wanted to see. 2029 lost to South Asian Football Federation. India's just doing everything there, and World Cup qualifiers. So I think the big news here is another South Asian Football Federation championship and making the World Cup and getting to the final of an Asian Cup. What an interesting and wonderful roller coaster this save is. Well, on that, I'd say we probably have 5 more years of our Sri Lankan players before international retirement. So I'm just going to jump forward to international retirement and let's see where this crazy roller coaster ends up. I will see you all, I don't know how long, whenever they retire. I have moved forward to 2040. I think it's actually well past the international retirement of our players. We'll quickly look at them again, and then we'll get to the meat of what actually happened with Sri Lanka. Our perfect goalkeeper, unsurprisingly, winning lots of awards. He did get a Champions League, Spanish Super Cup, Club World Championship. He was the best goalkeeper, World Golden Glove, World Goalkeeper of the Year, 7 occasions. Perfect goalkeeper's been nuts. Similarly, the perfect defender, 4 Champions League titles, a ton of community shields, 7 English Premier Divisions, World Player of the Year runner-up, World Footballer of the Year runner-up. Yeah, he's been pretty good. Perfect midfielder's probably been the best individually of all of them. Looks like he did he win a Champions League? He just won the one Champions League, but individually, World Player of the Year. He won the European Golden Shoe as a midfielder. That's pretty cool. He won the Ballon d'Or, so we have our Sri Lankan Ballon d'Or winner. So overall, pretty solid. And finally, our perfect striker. Pretty nuts. Did it maybe well he won a Europa League, not a whole lot otherwise. World Football of the Year, World Player of the Year, Ballon d'Or on 4 occasions. That's pretty cool. I'm curious to see how many goals he ended up scoring in this time. 352 league goals. Yeah, not too bad. But once again, how did we finish with Sri Lanka in this save? They're 34th. They got all the way up to 34th. That's nuts. So what's their world ranking history? They got as high as 23rd. If they got as high as 23rd, they might have won something. They might have won something or made a World Cup knockout round. So in 2040, we will go back. They made an Asian Cup quarterfinal, losing pretty badly to Japan, unfortunately, and losing in the final there. That's unfortunate. Moving forward, they did make a World Cup. They didn't win a game at the World Cup. I don't think they won it. We'll go back to 2034 as well. But right now, they haven't won a game at the World Cup, but they made the World Cup knockout rounds and actually only lost to Italy in extra time. Actually, didn't score either. But that's not too bad. So they've done all right. They made a World Cup knockout round, so I can see how they did good. They won a South Asian Federation Football Championship. That is good to see. 2036. This would have been like the prime South Asian. They won an Asian Cup. Sri Lanka. Oh, wow. So we took Sri Lanka. Oh, they beat the Philippines. That's okay. For the purposes of this experiment, that's okay. This is crazy, though. With 4 perfect players, we took Asia's lowest ranked nation and at one point made them Asia's best team, winning the Asian Cup final. This is an insane year. 2 trophies and an Asian Cup. Well, that is the coup de grace of this whole experiment. Sri Lanka, Asia's lowest ranked team, becoming the best nation in Asia. That's insane. And they did win a World Cup game. I just noticed they made the World Cup round of 16. Oh, and that's devastating. They lost in the 92nd minute to Brazil. They had an 88th minute equalizer. Oh, that is devastating. But what a run. They tied Sweden. For some reason, we don't have who scored for Sri Lanka here. And then lost 4-2 to Italy, but beat Guinea, the perfect defender grabbing a late goal. Beat Chile in extra time. The perfect player's not even scoring there. And it wasn't until they lost to Brazil in the round of 16. This was an immensely successful FM24 experiment. What a turn of events! And there it is, one Asian Nations Cup and the South Asian Football Federation Championships as well. 2031, 33, 35, and 37. And that Asian Nations Cup win in 2035. So we started off with the question, could four perfect players rebuild Asia's lowest ranked nation? Not only did they rebuild the nation, they made them at one point Asia's best footballing country, winning the Asian Nations Cup in 2035. This was insane. I hope you all have enjoyed it. This was a really fun one. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all are having a wonderful week. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye!